Okay, okay. Let's get this into perspective because it needs to be said. Um, Hold on, good people. Hold on. All right, I'm here. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Now, as we get further into this cycle of, you know, hate, this cycle of confusion, this cycle of toxicity, what they call it, toxicity. Let's get into what really matters. And thank you for hitting the super thanks button. I saw some people hitting that yesterday. After the video was playing, that's showing me that you really appreciate the videos. And this is why we work so hard to keep giving them to you. Even when we chilling on vacay, we still make it happen for you. Now, I'm sitting back chilling, relaxing, and I'm seeing more activity from Vlad that I don't appreciate. And he's gone from Djvlad to DJ Sad. And that's a perspective of me always looking at. When I came to Vlad, I looked at the total picture. He's had fallouts with everybody in the industry, but he is one of those people that, you know how you got someone a job or you allow someone to do something and they've been there for so long, they think it's them and that they're in control, and they kind of forget how they got there. You know, he was a fanboy of all these guys in the industry, just like academics, just like the rest of these guys. They were fanboys of the artist. The artist didn't need DJ Vlad. He needed them to make him relevant. Now, when I first heard of Vlad, I looked at Vlad as if this person, uh, DJ Vlad, he's more of a he's more of a character, you know, than an actual hip hop journalist. Some people told me he had a magazine. He was doing some work with the Source at the time, and he met a lot of artists. He was helping out K Slay. People told me when he got to Cali, he was rolling with the Bloods. That's why he got everything in red. I've heard all of these mystical stories about it. But now, what we're starting to see, and everyone has been seeing it, the layout of it, is when you keep crossing lines and people will stop making allowances for you. Because I look at Vlad and I'm like, I don't agree with his line of questioning, but I can't get mad at Vlad when other people are volunteering information. They're giving it up. Now, I remember Vlad says, we don't talk about open cases. Because Benny the Butcher came on his show and was like, you know, like, do you know what you're doing when you're asking those type of questions? You know, like the questions that he asks is, his line of questioning is just bizarre. It's like, why would an interviewer ask someone those type of questions, knowing like you're speaking on other people's cases, like cases that happened back in the day. You know, like sometimes the artist or the person you interview don't really want to talk about that stuff, because even if they got off on it, They don't want to rub that in somebody else's face, especially if there's loss of life. I remember I got flagged for something, and I couldn't believe it. Like, I wasn't monetized for it, not flagged. I wasn't monetized. And the exact same topic I was talking about, Vlad had did. And I asked them, what did I say wrong in my video? And they told me it was my title. And that's why they didn't monetize it. The title was negative. Djvlad had put out a video, and it said it was almost exactly like mine, but worse. And I said, I didn't even say his name. I said, someone else who has a larger channel than mine just put out a title of a video, and this is the title. And his video is monetized completely, fully. But my video is not. How is this acceptable and mine isn't? And they said, hey, don't worry about any other YouTubers. We're talking about you. That's what YouTube told me. I said, wow. But it was a Vlad video. I didn't say Vlad's name. I said, now you're telling me this title is acceptable, but mine isn't? He's got the word murder and kill in the title. And it was totally okay. So that let me know what type of power and control that he had on the platform in connection with people at YouTube. No matter what he says, no matter what goes on, no matter what kind of profanity his guests use, it's all good. But that's fine. He's got his connections. They're going to allow him to do certain things. Fine. I just want to know what's the playing field. Now I know that he gets special treatment. That's all they were telling me. Then I started to look more into the rabbit hole and starts hearing his defense as to why he asks these lines of questioning. And he says he never talks about open cases. We never do that. I never talk about anything that's open. So they can't use anything that Vlad says or whatever in an interview against people. Well, we found that not to be true. You remember ARAB? The federal government definitely used videos from Djvlad. You ever heard of a guy named Casanova? Yep. Well, guess what? They found videos from Djvlad and used some of those videos in those interviews in his case that is open. So when you look at the total situation in the bigger picture, King Low, another one, all these brothers are going to jail while your kids go to Yale or Cal Berkeley. Anybody see the pictures? See the big picture here? And now they put him in position to where people feel that they need him. Now let's look at his validation. Lord Jamal, he's had Godfrey over there. He had, who else he had? Royce even helped bring people to him and everything else. But once they decided to ask for more money and a piece of the pie that they helped create, it was, I'm going to disassociate myself with you. Or they cut off. So this is why I didn't side with Royce, Godfrey, and Lord Jamar when they were talking about Djvlad. Because they were employees and they tried to use the minister Louis Farrakhan as the gas. I had a problem with that. The minister never said anything to Djvlad, never said a word about anything that he just said. Yes, he did lie. He did twist the words of what Farrakhan was saying. for his statement and argument, and Vlad was 100% wrong. But when he misquoted him, that he never apologized for misquoting, you guys also used that as a vehicle to promote yourselves. That's what it was about. You're mad Vlad didn't give y'all what y'all wanted financially. So we're gonna try to tear him down so that we can come up and use somebody else or a situation to use that as the gas. So I was calling a spade, and y'all calling me a sellout for sticking up, talking about you stuck up for Vlad. Now I told the truth. Y'all, this is how they deceive people and get them to go on board. And Vlad seemed to be okay as he liked my video. And I said, man, all these dudes hating on Vlad, for what? You guys were providing the information. If he asks a question, there was a guy he was interviewing, the guy was like, I'm not talking about that. And he said, nope, that's the second way you trying to get me. Nope, that's the third way you tried to trap me. I'm not talking about that. And he was very adamant about it. My thing is, why other people can't do that? Why haven't they learned how to keep their mouth shut in that situation? But everybody ain't media trained. They don't know all the tricks. And they get you talking about it. Even when you don't want to. Even Whack 100 is mad at him. Because on the Ray J video shoot for I Hit It First, where they had the Kim Kardashian lookalike, they didn't want nobody to have a look at her until the video came out. That's how they were going to market it. And Wack told them, nobody take any pictures. Don't take any photos. Definitely of the girl, So they didn't want no photos coming out. And right before the video airs, Vlad leaks a photo of that girl from the I Hit It First video. So since then, Wack ain't want nothing to do with Djvlad. Still don't. We know Joe Budden's issues with Vlad because of what happened with Ransom. But Joe Budden is more at fault in that situation because Joe Budden started that by going to Ransom's place with a camera. He started it, but no one remembers that. So I look at things completely down the line. Vlad and I have basically been cool without having any type of contact whatsoever besides social media. That's it. Because I tell the truth and I go straight ahead with everything. Now, what I've seen lately with him and Kwame, he's turned into DJ Sad. Because you make millions off the back of the pains of the people, Vlad. And what you're doing is trying to use your whole system, because you watch everything. When somebody put Djvlad name in it, he watches it. So if he sees Djvlad, Kwame Brown, he's going to use that. Now, he wanted Kwame on his show for an interview. Kwame refused. Academics wanted to get Kwame. He refused. You don't stand for anything. If you don't stand for the principles and the values of what that person is talking about, he's not going to want to deal with you. Why would he? Now, let's look at the even bigger picture on the platform or on the table. Vlad don't stand for anything. What does he stand for? I would love to know. I've never seen him really stand for anything. I don't know if he's Jewish. That shouldn't even be the point. But if he is Jewish, what does that really matter? But if he's Jewish, then okay, whatever. He was doing exactly what the minister was just saying in the actual statement he made. So I don't see any difference there. But that doesn't mean anything. Is you know how to do right by people by nature, and you know how to do wrong by people by nature. They put Adam 22, who's a skateboarder, in control of a platform with hip hop. Right? A guy with no moral standpoint who talks about us in the worst conditions, talking and interviewing thoughts and women of the night, and asking them about who are all they sleeping with, what NBA players, what rappers, and they want the worst of you. So it's not about the music. For the people who don't understand what I'm saying, if you don't think he was trying to bully and poke at Kwame Brown by using other people such as Gil, he knows Gil and Kwame had a situation back in the day. So once he gets Gil back there in the seat, he wants to talk about Kwame. He knows Gil's going to give him all this juicy information so that he could use and monetize and make money off of it. Gilbert Arenas is not getting paid to sit in Vlad's chair. Gil just made this man money. Gil didn't get any popularity off of it. It didn't do anything for Gilbert Arenas. It just made him look really pathetic. And the entire interview has only been out on his paid platform. So far, he chops a video up into 35,000 pieces and puts them out one by one by one by one by one. But he deliberately chopped these pieces up to go at Kwame Brown. Deliberately did it. Titled it that way. Because he knows Kwame Brown's name still holds weight. If he didn't, if his name didn't hold any weight, he wouldn't use it. It's amazing how they try to say how he's irrelevant and that he doesn't mean anything, but you keep using and tagging his name into your videos. You're bigger than him. You got millions of subscribers, Vlad. Right? So why you keep tagging Kwame Brown in the title of your videos? Oh, Gilbert was talking about Kwame. That's why. Why do you got Gilbert sitting there? What do Gilbert got going on that required another interview? What has Gilbert done? I don't see no one talking about him on no major network. What does Gilbert have going on that required another interview? Did you talk about anything positive with Gilbert Arenas? Everything you talked about Gil's not smart enough to understand that you're putting him in trouble with the trans community. You put him in trouble. You're putting everything you've asked him with things that will get this man in trouble. But Gilbert is so stupid. I'm invincible. Can't nobody hurt me. I'm Gilbert Arenas. Now, when you think in that terminology and you think with that little mindset, that pea brain type mindset, you're setting yourself up for disaster. And that's why you turn to DJ Sad. Because you would think in your position, you would have pivoted by now to be something saying, I was kind of reckless when I used to do this thing. Now I've evolved and I'm doing it this way. But you haven't. You have taken the elitist standpoint of, I'm Djvlad, and whatever it goes, goes. And that's pathetic to me. Because you've made millions off the pain of black people, off the ignorance of black people, and off of the stupidity of black people. But when it's time to pay black people, you don't want to do that. Unless it's a crazy story that you gotta have. then that's when people start lying to you. Now, there's a lot of people who emulated Vlad's channel. And I pointed that out. I'm like, man, y'all trying to be Vlad. Y'all use his fonts for y'all programming when y'all sit down and interview people. And people are tired of Vlad and the way he's done things. But a lot of people have been out trying to rip him off and trying to be the next Vlad. And that's a problem too. Be the first you. Stop trying to be the next guy. There's already a Vlad. If he's doing something you don't like, modify it. Do it better. Don't try to make the people. It was a video out that was about, I think it was Art of Digest, and I don't have a problem with them. People think I do because of like Reggie Wright and all that. I don't have no problem with Art of Dialogue. I just don't agree with making your fonts and titles look like Vlad's to try to confuse the people, to bait them over into watching your program. I just think that's pathetic. That's a pathetic way to do things. But that's just me. Now, what is the big picture here? The big picture is you guys have got to learn and have to understand that he's a person who's a personality who hides behind other people. He wants to talk about Kwame, but he'll never do it. So he'll go get somebody who don't like him or have a problem with him, interview them, and try to get their perspective and make their perspective, this is how he is. Have you noticed there's a bias and there's no balance? When you're a journalist, you're supposed to have a balance. You're supposed to tell a positive, and if you're going to tell a negative, you got to tell some positive and give some construct to the interview. It's got to make it constructive. And to me, I don't see that balance. I don't see, because if you just come in and make an all fluff piece and make a whole positive interview, it's kind of boring. If everything's in the interview is positive without any grit, without saying, okay, this person came from this, listen in the interview. Even if the interview is just completely a positive interview, there's got to be some type of struggle or some pain that you came out of to get to this point. So if you're going to talk about all the bad things, you got to talk about some of the good qualities about the person to balance it all out. But if you listen to this, it's just an all tear down piece from one person, and you piggybacking off of it like, yeah, he did this to me. I didn't do nothing to him. I'm innocent. I'm Vlad. I don't do nothing. And that's just sad to me. Because you know what you've done. You're only talking to Gilbert Arenas because Kwame said no. And all of the other people that worked for you, you didn't want to pay them what they felt they were worth. Now, to me, before I knew of you, Lord Jamar made your thing jump off the platform. Make your Djvlad's platform jump. Now, Godfrey, I can't say that. And I can't say what Royce the 5'9" really did for your platform. But I know Lord Jamar definitely jumped your platform. He was the voice. His interviews is what got you really going. And when I was doing my Truth Behind videos, you were watching. And you start seeing the numbers. So definitely you were watching at the time. And that's why you did a flashback interview with Papoose and threw it out to try to ride the wave of my success I was having with Papoose, putting out those freestyles he was doing and had done on his mixtapes way back in the day. and got Papoose back hot again. And then you went and dug in your flashback bucket and threw that out. Here's a flashback because you were like, I got to get some of these views. This guy's killing it. But had you did reach out to me, I don't know if you did, but a lot of people reached out to me and wanted to work with me, want to do this with me. It was so many people at that time. And I was new to it, and I came into the game of trust nobody. So you would have got to know anyway. So I'm just saying. And then personal, just you would have got to know. If I just didn't respond to you at all, that was just my way of saying I don't trust it. Because believe me, they've been trying to find ways to steal my channel for a long time. Now, what I see here is a man who feels like he's almost an elitist standpoint, and DJ Sad. DJ Sad, you need to apologize. You should atone too, because you have a lot of things you should atone for. And I don't know the reason that, Rick Ross decided to go ballistic on you and, breaking all these bones in your face, allegedly. But you know what that was about. And the reason you went and sued. Now, you have yet to apologize to Minister Farrakhan for misquoting him, but he also did not come out and say anything that would require you to do so, right? But I felt in your hearts of hearts, to be taken seriously, you should have done that, because I felt it was deliberate. Yep, felt it was completely deliberate. Well, Kwame gonna address it in his manner. I already know what he finna do. Kwame gonna be a little bit more blunt and direct, because he's gonna give Vlad what he wants or what he thinks he wants. Because my thing is, why would you, two people that, and Vlad know they squashed the beef. He know that. He know that the whole thing is over. But he gonna try to go and fan the flames. If you did this to any other person, right? Any other celebrity you've interviewed, and they had pieced it up with somebody, and you went and put some thing about them, even though you probably haven't aired it on your main channel yet, and you titled it that way, they would have called you and cussed you out. You'd have took that down. You know you would have. So definitely, he feels he doesn't have to respect your opinion. Your opinion deserves no respect. So if a person feels like that, they believe they're above reproach. And they carry along with an elitist status based on views. They do everything based on views. Academics didn't say my name until he saw me getting views again with Kwame Brown. Then all of a sudden, because of views, man, I'm getting 100,000, 80,000 views. Oh, now you can say my name again. It's like, it's a childish game, and a lot of these people are playing it. Kwame's not an internet guy. He's a guy that just happens to go on the internet and make a video. He's not an internet guy. I'm not an internet guy. I'm not. I'm a guy that happens to go on the internet and use it and talk to people. I'm actually outside. I connect with people. I move around. I got things to do. I'm not in here tech guy. It's not me. The world know that. You've seen the quality of my videos. This is probably the most tech stuff you didn't seen from anybody ever. Especially from me. I don't use that stuff. But hey, I done told half of you, if not all of you, that this is a sick game that these people play. What positive video has Djvlad ever made? If you look at the titles, they are the most clickbaited titles in the face of this earth. But me, I've always mind my own business. I make my videos, they make their videos. And I stay out of it. I stay in my lane, they stay in theirs. But since we want to put people under the microscope and we want to go and attack others and say anything like that, if you look at Djvlad videos or on his channel though, what is some of the titles and the taglines you will see? Okay, let's take a look. Young Jock says he drove for Uber. 42 Doug rapping before I go broke like Jock. I don't even know what the hell that means. Terrence Gangster Williams on meeting his half-brother Birdman as a kid. Dad has 25 kids. And what he says, Lori Harvey's mom unhappy. She gets pushed back after the breakup. Bootsy on dead body being on stage. F that. It's giving me chills. Whack 100 replies to J Prince nickname Rat 100, but gets checked immediately. J Prince and Larry Hoover Jr. says Whack 100 can't even walk around his own neighborhood. These are the type of things that you're going to talk about on Vlad's channel. Alright? Landon Beast Simmons. You see what I'm saying? Everything's about negativity. Why are you interviewing Soft Side of 808 Mafia on your page? How did you get to interview Sammy the Bull? How did you get the woman, you got a chance to interview the woman who accused Tupac back in 94. Was that 95, 94? I think it was 94, Quad Studios. That ended up leading to that situation. Because without that, there is no Quad Studio situation without that situation. So that chick is a major component to all of this. And what she said about Pop. And you were able to interview her when no one in the world could get to interview that woman. Seriously. You have some very good federal connections. Another reason why I didn't deal with you. But I gave you credit for that when everybody bashed you and said, you never should have interviewed that woman. I said, yes, he did. And thank you for interviewing that woman. Because you interviewing that woman you brought it to life. What everybody else was just saying without really knowing, we got to hear her voice and hear the lie in her voice. Now, interviewing Keefy D's a known liar, rat, whatever. Keefy D gonna sit there and say anything he can to keep getting some money. So I already know you paying Keefy D. But the Ayanna Jackson videos, those were off the chart. Much credit to you for the Ayanna Jackson interview. Now, the problem that we have here is I was gonna say, I know I didn't sign up to anything. The problem that I'm seeing here is your titles, it's all built around negativity and controversy with no positive upsides, nothing. And he's got 5 million subscribers, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations on getting 5 million. But like I said, he's in a different boat. He's in an upper echelon when it comes to doing this thing, this whole process. So if you want to move in that notion of I'm going to just keep using negativity. If you keep going down those tropes and down those lines, you're going to get negativity back. You're going to get negativity feedback. You're going to get nothing but negativity all around you. That's it. So, I think that's something. Well, there it is. So, I'm going to get ready to slide. I got to get ready to watch Jurassic World Domination. So, even on vacay, I'll make it happen. But other than that, no one's really concerned about, Vlad because he talks through other people. He's the kind of person that makes moves behind the scenes, and that's the dangerous thing about it. They're the guys that throw stones and hide their hands. And that's why I call him DJ Sad. Because he's got the platform. He's seen these people go to jail. He's seen the feds use their interview. Like, you got Sammy the Bull in an interview, dog. That takes power. That takes a massive power to do. Now, I'm going to get out of here, but I'm going to holler at y'all later on. I'm going to get out of here. So, thank you. Don't forget, if you like everything, super chat. Thanks for everybody who hit my Cash App up. It says it in the banner. Everything at the banner. Basically, all the instructions you need. If you're on the Patreon, you got a lot of this stuff early. So, all the news. And we'll get into more of this on the Patreon when we have a chat. Because we can let loose over there. But other than that, to me, it's not a real big thing. It's just, don't get mad at Kwame when you see him defending himself. And don't forget to subscribe to @Kwame Brown Bust Life. Because Vlad's the one poking a bear. He poking a man who's sitting there, wasn't worrying about him, wasn't thinking about him, by going in there seeing two men that had pieced it out, knowing that they pieced it out, and you continuously come with back-to-back clips of disrespecting Kwame. And you put that in your title, using that negativity to try to hopefully they get something back started again. So that's on you. But I'm out.